Hi there, I'm Jen, this is Remembered Reads, and this is going to be my TBR and a bit of a library haul for March Mystery Madness 2021. March Mystery Madness is of course the annual mystery-themed readathon that happens every March. This is the 6th year that it's been happening on BookTube, and there are a set of prompts. There's a whole group of hosts. I will link to everybody below, as well as to the official Discord and Twitter and everything else. Let's talk some books. First up, I'm going to mention two books that has crossovers with other readathons that are happening. First up, The Best American Mystery Stories of the Century. This is edited by Tony Hillerman and Otto Penzler, because March is also the month of March of the Mammoths, which is dedicated to reading enormous books. This is 800 pages long. Will I actually read all of this in March? I don't know, but I'm going to give it a go. We'll see how it goes. Next up is a book that I have out of the library that will be the crossover between March Mystery Madness and middle grade March. This is called Supermax and the Mystery of the Thornwood's Revenge by Susan Vaught. This is about a girl who's solving the mystery of, is there a ghost in this house in the neighborhood, or is there something fishier and less supernatural going on? Which should be very entertaining. Interestingly, considering that this has a manor setting, I'm used to manor settings involving a lot of people running up and down stairs and shrieking a lot. And the main character in this is a wheelchair user, so I assume there'll be less shrieking on staircases. Alright, so let's get to books that I'm reading just for March Mystery Madness. First up is a book that I meant to read last year, and then, as I often do, because I own it, I didn't read it and I read library books instead. And that is A Dangerous Crossing by Ausma Zehanat. She is a Canadian writer, but although she lives in the US, she lives in Colorado. This is her series about two detectives in a culturally sensitive crimes unit, and they all deal with some kind of social issue. The first book in this series, I think, was the best. As they've gone along, they have taken more of an edutainment angle to them, which I understand why. I've seen interviews with the author where after she wrote the first book, a lot of people came up to her and said, oh, I'd never heard of any of this. So she has gone with that angle to, I'm going to educate mystery readers about these social and political issues, which I respect, but I find them less entertaining than the first one. The first one had endnotes at the end of it, which I'd never seen in a mystery before. That one is about a Serbian war criminal is found dead at the bottom of the Scarborough Bluffs, and I read that when I was living in Houston, and so it impressed me both in that I was kind of homesick for Toronto because it was before I moved back here, but also because it had all of these important real-world discussions going on at the same time. And again, these have important real-world discussions going on at the same time, but they are much more let me teach you about this issue, as opposed to, you probably know about this, but if not, read the endnotes, which I liked more. Still, I enjoy the series, so that sounded more negative than I meant to be. Speaking of mysteries by Canadian authors, and also a book where I read the first one when I was living in Houston, this is a series by Sheena Kamal, which is about a woman who is technically a secretary but solves crimes on the side in Vancouver. The first one, which was called The Lost Ones, was kind of wild in that it starts out, again, talking about some fairly serious social issues, but then 2/3 of the way through just went full action, and it's people fighting on the beach and jumping off chandeliers and things. A really interesting mixture of action and social commentary. So I have books 2 and 3 in that series. It All Falls Down and No Going Back, so I'm looking forward to getting to those. And then I have a book by an author that I have never read before, and this is Abir Mukherjee's Necessary Evil. This involves diamond mines in 1920s India, which is always a great setting. And I like how it has kind of a noir-esque cover on it, because how often do you see that and it's not New York City or Los Angeles? So yeah, diamonds, romance, and politics. Finally, every March Mystery Madness, I pick up a mystery from my mother's collection. She is a big mystery reader. This is Covered in Dust, which is my fault and not her fault, but this is P.D. James's A Certain Justice. This is in the Dalglish series. This has been made into a TV series as well. And this involves a courtroom drama in which a young tough is accused of murdering his prostitute aunt. So that should be dramatic. But the aunt was in position to ruin the lives of important people, so drama ensues. Sounds entertaining. And you can't go wrong with P.D. James, so those are the prose works that I'll be reading during March Mystery Madness, hopefully. I will also have some comics, but I will make a separate video about those. If you've picked out some potential reads, let me know which ones. I'd love to hear. Anyway, that's it for now. Ciao.